Moin, this is Timo. Welcome to my vlog. I'm going to build the Flopponium based on a Raspberry Pi Pico, and this is day 2. I'm going to build the MIDI interface. The first thing I need to do is to build an isolator and wire it up to the UART port of the Pi Pico. I don't have the optimal solution here, which would be a digital isolator. I just have this very simple isolator here, which is the PC817, and I think it's rather slow. But this is the fun and challenging part of the project, to use what's here. So let's see if we can make it run. This is my schematic. On the left-hand side, there is the MIDI in, and as starting point, I just used a 1K resistor. And on the right-hand side, I replaced the resistors by a potentiometer and tried what works best with 5 volts and 3 volts. I'm not an electronics guy, I'm more a software guy, so my approach is rather experimental. So this is what I did. I used Reaper in order to play some notes in a loop, and I connected a cheap MIDI interface to the input side of the circuit, and I connected the output side to an oscilloscope. So this is how the output signal looks like on an oscilloscope. All I did is I just tweaked the potentiometer until I got a decent input signal. And I repeated the process for 3 volts input and 5 volts input and back and forth until I got a value that worked for both. If we zoom in here a bit, we can see that the signal somehow looks low-pass filtered. This is maybe due to the slowness of the PC817. But let's zoom out again. And down here we can see it works. So the data is interpreted correctly. 128 and 144, these are the status bytes for MIDI for note on and note off signals. On the software side, I created a super simple MIDI in class. I used the UART port of the Raspberry Pi Pico and set its parameters according to the MIDI specifications. And in the update, I wait for MIDI status bytes and data bytes. And whenever there is a MIDI message complete, I call one of those guys here that can be overloaded in the main application. Now let's check in real time. I'm still playing back the notes in Reaper here. And let's start the main application on the Raspberry Pi Pico, and as we can see, we get the correct note on and note off commands. Now let's check if this works in a real world scenario and how the latency is. Cool, it seems this is fast enough. I soldered already the MIDI in module. I decided to do all the Flopponium components as modules so I can replace them later if they are broken or if they just suck. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.